when were you approached by Michael Floriali to work with When in Rome?
Michael and I were looking for a musical partner at the same time, and I was looking for a composer, and Michael was looking for a vocalist, and we both went to the same resource, which was, oddly enough, a publication called Music Connection. And it was through Music Connection that we found one another, and he asked for some MP3s of some recordings I had done, and I sent a few tracks, and he liked it, and he sent me The Promise, and I fell out of my chair. And I went into my studio. I have a studio at my house, and I recorded my version of it and sent it to him, and he flew it up on MySpace, and the fans loved it, and we began a musical partnership and a brotherhood, and it was
What
wonderful.
year was this that you met?
Gosh, I think that was 2006. Don't quote me on that. I'm horrible with dates, but I believe it was 2006, February of 2006.
So you and Michael have written an album and a half really together, but an album that's...
You know what? It was February of 2007.
Oh, okay.
I just remembered that. Yeah, not 2006. So
did you start writing songs at that time? Right
immediately. Michael had an idea. It was just a little bagatelle, just a little really simple piano part, but I was haunted by it, and I just started singing over it, and with some things that I was going through personally at the time, it just kind of flowed very naturally, and that ended up being the first song we wrote together, and it's a song called "Giving Up." Okay. And almost immediately we were writing songs. That was always the intention, was not just to be a touring band, but to be a band that contributed new and vital music.
Because the last time When in Rome put out an album was in the late 80s. That was their...
87, 88.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty powerful journey that When in Rome is on.
It's very exciting. It's quite a thing to be the lead singer to become the lead singer of one of your favorite bands, and it's very humbling, and it's very gratifying, and it's very fulfilling. Michael is a wonderful composer, but he's also a wonderful human being, and he's taught me a lot about music. He's also taught me a lot about life. And I'm very fortunate to be in his company.
You had a drummer that was working with you on the new tracks as well, because you were recording, from what I understand, recording the music in different cities and different states. Tell us about that.
That's true. We definitely felt. When in Rome, we're kind of known as an electronic band, but in reality, most of the material on the record had live drums on it, their first record. And we felt that it was important to maintain, to honor the legacy of When in Rome, for the fans, and to not deviate. And so we really felt like the new music that we were writing was calling for an acoustic drummer. And so we went on a search for that, and through a guitarist that we had played with live named David Noble, who is an amazing musician. And amazing musicians tend to be surrounded by amazing musicians, and he recommended this guy Scotty Kuzmarek, who is a wonderful drummer. He plays with the Gin Blossoms, and he's a great guy, hysterically funny and brilliant on drums. And we got together at David's studio and recorded drums for the demo, and we just got a wonderful performance out of Scotty. He really brought life to the songs, and we already felt that the songs were incredible, and then when Scotty played on them, we were just blown away. He really just, I don't know, it was just a huge shot in the arm for those songs. And then Scotty asked if he could mix, and we were like, oh, okay. And on a shoestring budget, I mean, with a MacGyver studio, I mean, he really has a studio, at the time his studio, was not, this massive commercial studio. But he wanted to mix, and we were like, okay, and we, kind of, hesitated, but said, sure, why not? What's the harm in it? And the results that we got back from Scotty were nothing short of astonishing. If his drumming brought life to the songs, his mixes of the songs sent them to the moon. It was incredible, and that kind of became our new sound. And then we took that new approach to our songs with Scotty's drumming and Scotty's mixing approach, and kind of implemented that across the board with all of our other songs, and that's kind of how the new When in Rome sound was created.
So that's huge. I mean, he gave a different boost to the music, to what you and Michael have created together, and took it to a different level.
There is no way to overstate the importance that Scotty Kuzmarik's influence has had on our band.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now,
he's a great friend and he's a great talent, and we are fortunate to have collaborated with him.
So could you tell me what, in the song Eventide, what are the lyrics about?
Well, they're about, the song is about intimacy with a loved one outside in the woods.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
It's about physical intimacy.
Okay.
Yeah. I was very, very enamored at the time, and yeah, she and I had our own little tour.
Very nice. Were people watching as well out in the woods?
Not to my knowledge. I don't think there were any camera crews. Yeah.
Would
Not
you
at
have been
that point.
upset if there were?
Well, I'd actually be kind of proud. Google me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. My acumen is very well documented.
So Eventide's close to your heart.
It
as
is.
Well as
It's a love song, and that's really what I want. You know, that's really what I feel the focus of When in Rome has always been.
Mm-hmm.
Is there's always been this element of optimism and romance, and I feel compelled to stay, you know, moving in that direction. I love the first record, and there's so many bright spots on that record, and you feel really good listening to it. It's an up record, and it's a happy record, and you know there are some soft points where, you know, you kind of get to experience a little bit of longing, but for the most part you feel hopeful and optimistic. One of the most profound experiences I've had, you know, singing with Michael and with When in Rome and touring, was one of the first shows we did in America was in Dallas, and I was terrified because we were doing a show at this world famous venue, sharing a stage with Dramarama and Flock of Seagulls, and that was quite daunting for me at the time. I had never done anything at that level, and one wonders if they have the ability to deliver at that level, and the show went off really well. I actually sang better than I'd ever sung before live. It was kind of strange, actually. Felt like a homecoming. Mm-hmm. And but the remarkable thing about that night was, after the show we were doing autographs and pictures and stuff, and just talking to the fans. And this woman came up to me and kind of pulled me aside and said that she had been in Hurricane Katrina, and had been displaced by Hurricane Katrina to Dallas. So that happened to a lot of folks who were affected by that disaster. And she said that during that time she had lost her job, she had lost her home, she had lost her life. And during that time, one of the only things that really held her up, or gave her, helped her to feel better, was listening to the record, that first When in Rome record. And she said, to be able to come here tonight and hear you guys performing those songs live meant so much to me. And I was profoundly affected by that. And to this day, I feel like that's kind of the point of all of this, is to make music that gives people a good feeling.